I highly suggest that you bookmark this one because this coming month you might want to refer back to it to pull some activities out all related to Thanksgiving. Or maybe you're cooking Thanksgiving dinner and you need some ideas to keep those kids busy and out of the kitchen for a little bit. I'm going to give you those ideas in this video. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. I feel like I was just doing Halloween themed videos and then I blinked and we're already coming up on November. So I wanted to get ahead of the game and give you some ideas that you can do that are Thanksgiving related. If you are cooking or if you're traveling or you just need something for a unit study, then this is the video for you. I've done some similar videos before in the past, and so I put together a little fall playlist that you can go and check out and see if you can find some more ideas there. But in this video, I'm gonna try to do kind of all ages. Now you guys always say, can you tell me what age this is for? Well, the thing is, every one of you have children that have different skill levels, different ages, and so I highly recommend for you to take an idea. This is what I do. I take an idea and then adapt it to the age of your child. I just think that's the best way to present some material to you guys, because a lot of these things you just adapt it. If you have one activity, then you make it addition instead of color matching, or you make it letter recognition versus sight words. So I promise you it'll work. We also have the holiday gift guide coming up, so you're gonna want to subscribe. This is in the month of November. Well, I tell you all about my favorite things for the holiday gift guide. Plus we have lots and lots and lots of giveaways. So you're gonna want to subscribe to not miss out on that. And now, after I've done my whole spiel, it's time to talk about those Thanksgiving activities. For this video, I'm actually gonna start with the hardest first and then go all the way down to the easiest, just because I want to mix it up. This one is from one of my favorite websites to get some free materials. It's Play-Doh to Play-Doh. I actually had the joy of meeting her at a conference not too long ago, and she is just a delight. So I love that I can support her. This packet comes in 2 different levels. They're labeled at the top, and then they have a level 2 underneath there. And this one is a Thanksgiving themed money activity. So I love this. I'm actually gonna probably do this with my 2nd grader because she's learning how to count money. So we have these little cards here in 2 different levels, and you can see that they're just, level 2 is a little bit harder. And then you get all of these paper coins. Now, if you don't want to use the paper coins, you can just use real coins, or you can use pretend money, which I recommend. I'll put some in my Amazon store for you, some pretend coins. And then you get this chart for the activity. I'm just gonna take my paper cutter here and cut apart my cards to give you an idea. This one I did get at Daiso for $2, which beats any price that you would get at Michael's, honestly. But you can get them at Michael's and fairly inexpensively. So if you're gonna be using these in a classroom or using them frequently with your children at home, I would recommend printing them out in color because it just makes them much more inviting. I'm saving a little bit of ink, which is totally fine if you wanna do that too. And then I also recommend laminating them, so you can print them out on thicker cardstock and then laminate them, and you're gonna have an activity that makes a great busy bag. So I'm just gonna set my level 2 aside over here, and what you would present your child is the worksheet here, the money activity, and then you'd also provide them the cutout coins. I'm not going to do that right now because you'll get the idea. And then their menu of cards here with all of their items and what those items cost. So the directions say draw the correct coin amount for each food item. So first you can have a tactile activity in finding your turkey in your store. Once you set up all these cards, we've got our turkey here at 17 cents. So they can count out using the paper coins to count out 17 cents, and they can draw the coins here on the paper for the answer. So I like that it's very tactile. You can do some counting, you're doing some drawing for the coin recognition, and you're understanding what this means. If you want to get further, of course, you can do some addition in making this money activity a little bit more difficult, saying I would like to buy turkey and some peas. How much would that cost for both of them? And then adding that way. So lots of flexibility with this one. I think it's a really good one to have, and it can grow with your child too. Give me a word. This one caught my eye because it's just a little bit different. So this is for the children who are learning about parts of speech, verb, food, feeling, and animal, and then it has some Thanksgiving theme words to it. So they're little charts, prints out just like this for you. We have feast, cider, and turkey. And what you do is you name an object. I love that it has examples up here. Item in the home that starts with an F, verb that starts with F, a food, a feeling, and you just fill out the chart with different words. It's kind of like a take on Mad Libs in a way, which I have another one of those to show you, but I just thought it was pretty clever because of the theme for the Thanksgiving, and it kind of gets your mind going on different words. You don't have to do all of them. You can just pick one. Maybe you have a couple kids that can each do a different one, and you can talk about the words you found, or they can help each other. And this one has the noun, math term, sports term, summer term, and an animal. And then this one has a household item, an adjective, a food, a city or state, or a character trait. Love this. I think it's very clever, and I I like all the different categories. And speaking of Mad Libs, of course I have one of those for you too. Tons of these, you guys, over on Pinterest. I picked this one because it was a free one. It's called Thanksgiving Mad Libs, and you know how this works. You just read, you don't read the story, actually. You read the blanks, and it tells you what to put in there, noun, verb, adjective, fill it in, and then you read the story and see how silly your story is. You know, you guys already know I'm a big fan of Mad Libs, and I just think these are hysterical. And my second grader, she thinks they're just the best. And this is a Thanksgiving Mad Libs, and I want to make sure I let you know that all of the links directly to these printables are down below in the description box. You can go print them out right away. Some of them do have a spot where you have to sign in or put in your email, that kind of thing. So just make sure you're clicking on the right thing. And yes, some of them you will have to give them your email, and they'll email you the file. So as I said, I wanted to give you activities that were kind of going down in level. So those ones that I just showed you were a little bit more difficult, probably for the grade school, early grade school level. I'm mixing some things up here. This is what I wanted to show you. And so this is probably more for early grade school and older kindergartner level. These are gratitude cards, and it's like a gratitude journal. So you get a couple sheets here. This is how it comes, and then you're going to cut them apart. There's 26 cards in here, and you're going to make a book out of everything and do one a day. Now, I love that it's like progressive. It's one a day. So you're going to fill out something for every one of these. Let's see, it's have day 7 up there. Something I am thankful for, something something outside I'm thankful for, and something inside I'm thankful for, an event that I'm thankful for, a skill that I'm thankful for. I mean, it just goes on and on. A holiday that I'm thankful for. And I like that it's just like a 1 or 2 blank kind of thing. So they can put a 1-word answer, which is pretty appropriate for a kindergartner who can write, or a first grader, or even a second grader. And this is just kind of a reflection to be thankful about things in our lives. Cut them apart, color them, put them together in a book, and it'll be a fun keepsake to read later, years down the road, I promise you. And speaking of being grateful and having gratitude, I wanted to say hello and thank you to all the new subscribers that are fans of the Purple Alphabet. I am very thankful for you. And if you're watching and you'd like to subscribe, feel free to do so. Just click the subscribe button and be a part of our Purple Alphabet family. Say hi in the comments too. You guys know I love reading the comments. And if you're not new, you know I love hearing from you too. We do educational activities for kids and ideas and inspirations to learn through play. So I might even do this gratitude journal and more complex, but use these as the kind of journal starters for me. I just like this a whole bunch. Now back to that one I was trying to show you earlier. This one comes in a full set from A to Z, and we're doing turkey beginning sounds. So if you have a child that knows their letters and they're working on the sounds that they're making, this one you might want to print out. I printed it in color just because I wanted to show you how gorgeous it was. I mean, it's beautiful. And if you're going to be doing this, I would highly recommend making this one a long-term one throughout the whole month of November. So you cut this little guy out, and there's one for every letter of the alphabet. And actually, you know what? I really do recommend laminating them, getting them on heavy cardstock, because this is so stinking cute. I couldn't even believe it was free. If you ever tried to cut while trying to film, it's not as easy as it looks. You guys are so kind to me by not making comments about how I do things when I'm filming, because talking and doing things is always difficult. Okay, so we got our A here. I'm going to put this one over here to the side. And then, of course, you cut out the feathers. Once again, laminate these after you cut them out. And 5 minutes later, I have them cut out. So what I would do is, if you have a child that is just learning their beginning sounds, don't do the whole alphabet. Give them one of these to start off with. If you want to make it harder, do a couple of letters and mix up all the feathers. If you want to make it even harder, throw in the B and A together and mix them up so they have to determine which one goes with which. You can make it harder as the more you add, right? So basically what they're doing is they're adding on the letter sounds to the correct turkey. So I would say ox goes here, he gets a feather, acorn, angel, and before you know it, you're gonna have a turkey or a decorated feathered turkey. Easiest is just to match them up when you're first learning. Hardest, add in feathers from other letters, do a couple letters at one time, and then if you want to be extremely hard for your super smarty pants kid, you can even do all of them if you wanted to. I love this one, you guys. This is a keeper for sure. Rolling for turkeys. This one is really easy setup. Get some dice from a game that you have, or get some from the Dollar Tree. They have them there too, the whole package. And you're rolling adding, this is 3, and coloring the correct feather turkey. It's just such a simple game. You could do this as like a race, like somebody else to race against the clock to see who can fill up their turkey the fastest, because you're not always going to roll the numbers that you need as soon as you're filling up all the feathers. And it goes all the way up to 12. So this is addition up to 12, and I think this is a perfect activity for beginning adders. And I like the coloring aspect, and you can do all of the feathers that way. And you know me, I love to keep things simple, and this one's definitely simple. I Spy is another favorite of mine because I like that they have to do a lot of visual scanning. They have to seek for these things, and they're doing a lot of discrimination, visual discrimination, and trying to find things. This one is Thanksgiving themed. You have a key down here at the bottom, and it tells you how many of each object to find. What's cool about these I Spy games is that on Pinterest you can find different levels. I would say this one's a little bit harder, but you can find easier ones. But you have to find things in the picture and then mark them off or color them all the same color. This one I think is excellent for a more advanced I Spy finder. I don't if there is such thing. If you need easier ones, there's tons of those. Just search for free I Spy Thanksgiving printables. For this next one, I'm going to steal the little turkey off of this one. Oh yes, I am. I'm going to just kind of cut him out a little bit, because for this next activity, we're going to be adding our own feathers to him. I'm going to just kind of snip him out here because he's already done, and maybe we already used this sheet and we can use it in a different way. Got our little turkey there. You're gonna need some construction paper and some scissors for this one. I like have this little pad of construction paper at Daiso Japan, and you're gonna need a couple different colors. You can decide how many you would like to do. I'm just gonna grab a few out here, and I have them all stacked together, and I'm gonna make a couple of feathers out of these papers. What's great about feathers, you guys, is that really, they don't have to be too fancy, right? I cut some bigger ones out here, and then they're all stacked together. And then I have this hole punch, and you can use a smaller hole punch if you wish, but I like this one because it's rather large. And I'm gonna punch some circles out on this one. And you don't wanna throw away the circles. You're actually going to need those because we're gonna be doing a color match. So it becomes a little like confetti here. If I can find one of these punches, I'm gonna put this in my Amazon store. One, it's kind of fun for the kids to play with, and two, you just find lots of uses for it. And then we have our feathers. I'm going to separate my feathers. You can do a bunch more of these. I just did 3 to be quick here. Place them around your turkey, and now we have a fine motor color match. So you just match the circles to the holes. You could also use pom-poms for this. If you want to use pom-poms, you could draw the circle instead of cutting them out and match the pom-pom color to the actual circle if you want. So it's another variation if you don't have the hole punch. I personally like the hole punch. I think it's really cute and something different and kind of fun to manipulate these and put them all in the right spots. So we have a turkey hole punch color match. And using that same little guy that I cut out, another great idea is to take your feathers. If you don't have these feathers, Dollar Tree, you guys, Dollar Tree has lots and lots of feathers. So each child can get a couple of these, and you're gonna need those dice again. I recommend 1 for this, and enough feathers. Like, you probably need a lot more than this, pretty much. And this is a roll and add the feathers. So here we go. We have 1, so I get to add 1 feather. 2, I get to add 2, and you can do this as a game with other people. The first to have 10 feathers, or the first to have however many, and you can do it that way too if you have multiple children. So you're just adding your feathers. Oh my gosh, they're sticking together. Add your feathers to your turkey. If you can't find those feathers at Dollar Tree, you can always try Michael's. Walmart, I believe, has them too. Mine are sticking together as I may place them on here. There we go, a little bit better. So you have a roll and feather turkey with your little cutout. Another fun activity to do for fine motor, if you have a child that's a little bit older, is to use a clothespin to pick up the turkey feather and to place it on your turkey. Or if you have some dough, brown dough, roll the dough into a little turkey body and then place the feathers inside the actual dough. Another great fine motor activity. And one of my easiest activities for you today are roll and color. Simple number recognition. So this one's actually the easiest one, where you would take a die and roll it. And then according to whatever you roll is the number you're gonna match. Here's a 5 right here, and color that spot on the turkey. So simple, right? And this is perfect for recognizing numbers 1 to 6. This one's a little bit more complicated. You just have a color key to match it. So you can do this several ways. You can do it where you roll. There's no 6 on here, but you can do this where you roll. Maybe 6 is a color, anyone you want, whatever color you want. But you would just find, okay, the 1, so the 1 would be blue. And so I would find the 1, color the 1 blue. This is color recognition as far as recognizing the names of your colors, and it's also number recognition with the dice. But you don't need to use this with it. You can just use the color key down here. Do you have any favorite traditions that you like to do with your kids for Thanksgiving that help to keep them busy or learning? I want to hear about it down below in the comments. Let's talk. I want to know what you guys do. Make sure to click subscribe to see more videos like this and give me a thumbs up to show your love.